thank you all for coming tonight to be with me as I say affirmatively and unambivalently and with complete commitment, I am a candidate to be the next mayor of the city of Newton. I am running for mayor because I love this city and because we need new, strong leadership. Newton is still a great place to live, but we have seen an erosion in our services. And what concerns me even more is that we have seen an erosion in the confidence that people feel that city government can make things better. We need a leader who knows how to bring this community together to solve problems and to make responsible change. I chose the Memorial Spalding School to make my announcement. I have to tell you, the bloggers went wild. Why is she doing it in a school? Why is she doing it in that school? I wanted to make my announcement in a school because we know that the public schools are the heart and soul of this city. This is why we moved to Newton, was for the schools. This is what puts Newton on the map. When I was a little girl growing up in New York, the daughter of New York City public school teachers, I heard that there was a place called Newton, Massachusetts that had the best schools in the country. It's true. We know that our future depends on the excellence of our public education system. I chose Memorial Spalding School not just because Barbara Grossman is an alum, although that was a factor, but this is where my children went to school. This is where Jonah and Micah and I got firsthand experience with the excellence of the Newton Public Schools. Both of my sons are now getting PhDs at top graduate schools, and I know that the foundation of their academic success was laid right here. It breaks my heart when I speak to the parents who have children entering the schools now and hear them say that they are worried that the schools are not what they once were. They have seen reductions in services, and they want the schools to be better. We have to make sure that they are better. That has to be our first commitment. The children of Newton need and deserve a world-class education system, and we're going to make sure they get one. There's another reason I wanted to do the announcement here at the Memorial Spalding School. This is where my story begins, my story as a Newton activist. Back in the 1980s, a long time ago it seems, there were some fiscal challenges then as well. And one of the things the city decided to do to save money was to reduce the number of crossing guards in the city. And they removed the crossing guard at the intersection of Brookline Street and Hartman Road. And that intersection isn't tough if you're an adult. But if you were the size of my Micah and Jonah at the time and the other kids in the neighborhood, walking to school became a terrifying prospect. And so as a PTO mom, I organized the other PTO moms, and we started advocating and pushing and demanding and yelling and screaming as only PTO moms can. And the next year, I was sworn in as the Ward 8 alderman. And the first thing I did was knock on the door of Mayor Mann of blessed memory. And Florence will vouch, it wasn't easy to persuade Teddy, but I did. And he worked with me. My argument was compelling, and he did the right thing, which was that he put the crossing guard back at that intersection. By the way, there is still a crossing guard at that intersection to this day. It was my first political victory in Newton. I've spent the 20 years since then working with the people of Newton to try to solve our problems and to make our life better here in the community, ranging from when I was the chair of the Newton Board of Aldermen Committee on Public Safety and Transportation and worked with neighbors to put stop signs and other traffic calming devices around the city to deal with speeding cars. going all the way to last month when Governor Patrick signed my automatic sprinkler legislation. I've been working together with the people of Newton to improve our public safety. Starting with being a founding member of the Newton Child Care Commission when I was an alderman, to passing legislation that protect the health of children, as Steve mentioned, or to protect the rights of disabled children, as Leslie mentioned, or to work with my legislative colleagues to get as much money from that state as we possibly can from Newton. I've been working these years together with people of Newton to respond to the problems of our children and our families. I brought people together to save Hammond Pond, also Echo Bridge over Hemlock Gorge, also the Chestnut Hill Waterworks. As an alderman, I brought people together to pass an accessory apartment ordinance because we need more affordable housing, and that way wouldn't change the physical landscape of the city. There have been many problems. I've tackled many, but my approach to all of them has always been the same, which is that I listen to people, I bring people together, we solve the problems, we make responsible change. That's what I'll do as the mayor. We have some big problems in Newton, and we need someone who can bring us together to solve those problems. As mayor, I have 3 top priorities. Number 1, the public schools. Our children will have a world-class system of education here. Number 2, it's all about the money. We have very significant fiscal challenges. There is a structural deficit that the city faces, and at the same time, the voters of Newton have made it clear they do not want to raise their individual property rate and tax rate. And so the next mayor is going to have to put every ounce of her creative energy into getting alternative revenue sources into this city so that we can properly fund our most vital services, our schools, our public safety, most especially. I've already been working on those problems, on those solutions with people. I know that together we can solve our fiscal problems here in Newton. Number 3 is community. This is a great city to live in, and we want to rebuild our feeling of our strong sense of community here. City government will be open, transparent, accountable, and we will rebuild the confidence and trust and bring us together to feel like a community again. I am so grateful for the support of so many of my friends. Thank you for coming tonight. We've got 7 months between now and the preliminary election. With your help and a lot of hard work, I will be the next mayor of Newton.